Hello everyone, JR10 Desert Gold. Thought I'd do a follow-up on my Core Essentials fail video. As I stated in my original video, this is in no way an attempt to disparage Core Essentials or give their product a negative appearance. Over the past week, I've been interacting with a member of Core Essentials that responded to a posting I made on somebody else's video with regard to their belt. In essence, his response to me was more along the lines of expressing his incredulity to my having an issue with a product that they've sold tens of thousands of, and I seem to be the only one with an issue, and it had to be something that I did. All of that is basically untrue. I was just a second. I was trying to give this a fair evaluation, and in doing so, I was wearing it continuously for the past several days and noticed a continuance of issues with the leather topping on this belt. The Core Essentials belt, if you're not familiar with them, has a ratchet type system where the buckle will latch into these slots on the back of the belt, giving it something to, hook onto and adjust waist circumference as needed. What I started noticing was that after wearing it all day and using this release mechanism to take the belt off, it would get to the point on the belt where it would get stuck like it is right now, and you would have to, I am depressing this release button, but it's sticking on that one point. And then looking at the belt from the other side, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but the leather on the inside sitting on top of the core stabilizer is bowing up now, and it creates a hump that the release mechanism on the buckle has to get past. The biggest issue, as I pointed out in the first video, is the complete failure of the leather, and it is developing more points on the belt where future tears could occur. In my correspondence with this individual at Core Essentials, it turns out that this is their Gen 1 belt, and they have a newer Gen 2 out right now. And that kind of got me to wondering, well, why did they have to I mean, companies always will look for ways to better their product and make it more appealing, and I understand that, but what was the real reason that they had to go to a Gen 2? He mentions that they've changed the way that this locks into the back of the belt a little bit, so I don't know if that's a direct result of an issue that I'm having with this Gen 1. It's just the fact that they refuse to acknowledge that possibly the leather used on this particular belt that I have is possibly defective, and the fact that I've had it for the length of time and it's out of their warranty period left them no other option to remedy the situation other than to have me purchase a new leather strap for a discount. And the discount amounted to, I think it was 20%. So if you take the cost of the belt less the 20%, it brought it down to $35, I believe, if I recall. I thought that was a feeble attempt in my opinion to address a customer service issue. As these companies get larger, that seems to be the trend these days. They kind of gloss over customer issues that they don't deem worthy. I don't feel that this belt met the standards of Core Essentials belts that have been raved about in other videos. As an example of quality products, this is a gun belt from a company called Tucker and Bird gun leather, and you can see, I mean, this is quality. The thickness of the belt is a 1/4 inch of genuine top grade leather. This belt is phenomenal. And if you have an issue with one of their belts or their holsters, you give them a call, they answer the phone. It's not somebody in an office answering it. They answer the phone. They stand behind their product, and I don't care if you've had that belt for a year or 10 years. If it is a defect in the belt, you send it to them and they'll make it right. And that's my kind of company. That is a company that I will use again. That is a company that I can trust. They will listen to me and not think that I am trying to scam something off of them. I let this individual know that my channel is a small channel and that I've had it for about 8 years, and in no time during that 8-year period have I ever been monetized nor asked anyone to subscribe or like or put up any kind of request to support my channel through something like Patreon. I'm not in this for the money. I don't care a rat's ass about what people think of me and the quality of my videos. I'll put out what I want that I think people can benefit from. Take it or leave it. That's my motto. I mean, you don't have to watch this. There's a shit ton of videos on YouTube on anything you could possibly think of. But for those of you that think that I'm trying to get some kind of popularity out of this, you're dead wrong. Getting back to Core Essentials real quick, like I said, they felt because that they sold and have sold so many belts over the years that I had to be possibly wrong. And yet, if you go on the internet and search for reviews on their Core Essentials belt, you'll find other people that have had the exact same problem with the leather tearing. And again, leather is a naturally formed product, and nature is not perfect. Case in point, this is my 1943 M1 Garand that I've spent almost 2 years refurbishing. This is a genuine World War II 1943 leather sling. I'm trying to get it close enough so that you can see. What is this, 76 years old, this leather strap or sling? Look at it. Of course, it's going to have wear. It's going to have different color tones to the leather. But that adds to the history of this. That's why I'm such a fan of rebuilding or refurbishing these World War II weapons, and in a way honoring the brave men that carried these battle implements into combat. Now, you just saw the 1943 belt. This is an identical M1 belt from the same year. And I think you won't have any trouble seeing the difference in the wear of the belt. Now, obviously, we have no way of knowing the different journeys that each of these belts made through history, but my point is that two different cuts of leather are gonna wear completely different over the same course of time. So for Core Essentials to tell me that I must be mistaken because everybody else's belt with daily use, they're having no problems, and yet you are. So I have to be wrong. Well, like I said, each person is entitled to their own opinion. Rather than take Core Essentials up on a repurchase of something I shouldn't have to, I took the $35 offer and went and purchased a much more useful and, in my opinion, better gun belt. One of my favorite channels that I follow is called the Warrior Poet Society. It's run by a former Ranger. The guy is cool. I mean, he just You ought to check it out. If you see, you know, it's nice to see somebody that knows what they're talking about and brings it to the table. He goes around the country teaching classes, rifle, pistol, combat. He knows what he's talking about. And he did a gun belt review of what he considers his favorite belt. And this is currently his favorite. He likes it so much that he put his logo on it, and he's co-sponsoring it or is involved with it in some way. But this is my replacement for that Core Essentials belt. If you're looking at these two belts from the brand new position, Core Essentials is over $60, and you get a very stable gun belt platform for your EDC. This brand new is $35. As you can see, it's also a very stable gun belt. Granted, it doesn't have the core stiffener that Core Essentials puts in theirs, but what they do is they've got two very thick nylon webbing layers sandwiched together and double stitched. And I'm telling you, I've been wearing this for the past week also, and this thing is nice. The thing I really like about it, well, there's a couple of things. One, while this isn't a very thick buckle, it does sit over the edge of my pants. And while I have been on a weight loss endeavor, 2 months ago I think I was at 238, and at the time of this shooting I'm down to 204. That being said, my little beer belly that is quite a bit smaller now still hangs over, and depending on how you've got this on, you can see that here's the release mechanism. So if you're wearing it this way, it sits above your waistline and would definitely dig into somebody's beer belly, if you will. So I wore it like this, but you still have sharp edges that stick above the waistline. And the other thing that I didn't like was if you wore the belt and it's in a position that's comfortable for you, there's no place to put the tail strap or the end of the belt in, so a lot of times it just sat. If a belt loop didn't time up right with the end of the belt, then you had this hat going on. Oh, I forgot to mention the name of the actual company that makes this belt is Blue Alpha Gear. I don't know if it's going to show up or not. These guys, right now, I think there's 3 colors. There's a black, I think there's a gray, and then there's this, what I call coyote brown. Check out their belt. or a buckle. It's not really a buckle. It's a nylon loop or a polymer loop, but it's definitely strong. And the cool thing about this belt is it is so easy to work with. So you have your loop right there, and you've got the other end of the belt right there, and there's Velcro on the inside. So what you do, I mean, this belt goes on in seconds. You just run it through the loop, fold it back on itself, and it's secure on the Velcro. And then let's say you go out for a heavy meal or something and you're sitting down and man, the belt's too tight. You just loosen it up, right? Or pants riding too low, tighten her up. It's that easy. And I don't have any issues to worry about as far as leather separating from the core stabilizer and bowing up, making the release of this type of system difficult at best. So, in summary, you've got a belt that does everything the Core Essentials does at a little over half the price. It's lighter, it has all the benefits of adjustability, and the company is a lot more customer service oriented. So I'll put a link down in this video where you can check out their belts, and I don't see, unless you're a true leather fan, well then yeah, this belt I think runs about $125, but you're getting some quality workmanship here. You know that the company takes pride in what they're doing and not going to look for an excuse to justify something that went wrong in their product. They'll just fix it. This is such a simple, straightforward KISS principle. Keep this shit simple, man. It's the way it should be. You put this on, you put, with your EDC, and you're good to go, and far less time than dealing with that circus. So anyway, I hope I didn't ruffle too many feathers, but as I said, shit happens. I'm not here to, be an entertainer. If there's something here that you can use it. If it's not something you care for, there's always that fast forward or next video button. Just use that too. All right, so I bored you all enough. Is there anything else I might be doing a good friend of mine on another channel got his first M1 Garand. I might go over what to look for in getting your first Garand, and if you are interested in bringing it up to collector grade, then we can get some information going on that. But you gotta love this rifle. So anyway, you all have a wonderful Sunday, relaxing one, I hope, and have fun, be safe. JR10 Desert Gold out.